Festus kicking from left to right. Crowd getting into it, and the kick is away. A low line drive kick that's picked up by Adam Bloom at the 18-yard line. He fumbled it, picked it back up, goes to the middle of the field, and he's hit at the 21. So just getting across that 20-yard barrier is Adam Bloom, and the Knights offense will start it with a 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. And it's Aaron Baker, the senior quarterback, leading away with Parks Peterson in the backfield. The wide receivers, Adam Bloom, Taylor Denver, Doug Noble, Nick Baker. Offensive line, Trey Danley, Corey Updegrove, center Trevor Walker, and Josh Bond and Dakota Smith to the right side of the offensive line for the Knights. Festus up front, Jake Amsden, Luke Hamdorf, Lance Silkwood, Thomas Stubbs, and Patrick Kopp. 1st and 10 Knights. Baker in shotgun formation with one man in the backfield with him. That's Peterson. They change the play on the sideline. First play from scrimmage in this football game, and a long look over at the sideline for Baker and the Knights.
And Tim, basically Festus has come out in a 5-1 defense and then man-to-man on all receivers.
Baker takes a low snap. He looks right. He fires. It is incomplete. Intended for Parks Peterson coming out of the backfield and on the screen. And it'll be 2nd and 10. The rest of the Festus starting defense. Linebackers are R.J. Lucas, Jeff Kopp, and David Purcell, who leads the Tigers in tackles. In the secondary, Nick Palmero, Tyler White, and Michael Boyer. 2nd and 10, Farmington in the same formation. 2 wide receivers on either side of Baker. Now he sends Parks Peterson in motion to the right. He's back to throw. He fires deep downfield. Nobody there except the Festus defender, and it was Tyler White who was the closest to it. It falls incomplete at the 45-yard line.
And good coverage. They had man-to-man on Peterson, but also the man that was on the split man on the outside, a defender, came over to help out. So good movement there by the defensive backs to help cover.
People might think with the scoring average of these two teams that it's going to get up there in the point category. I think the other way. I think it's going to be a more low-scoring affair. We're seeing that so far. Festus forces Farmington into a 3rd and 10 from shotgun. They'll send Peterson to the right again in motion, and Baker scampers out of the pocket. He fires, intercepted on the far sideline, going into the end zone, untouched. Is Nick Romero, I believe, picked that ball up, and it's 6-0 Tigers. So it was Miles Beckett who picked off that pass, a little overthrown by Aaron Baker.
And basically, he hit his drop. He played zone that time, and I don't know if that confused him in the secondary, but he dropped back into his zone, was just sitting there waiting as the ball was overthrown.
The extra point try. So, Festus defense forces Farmington's 2nd turnover in 4 weeks. And the Tigers on board first, 7-0. We're back in 1 minute on regional radio. Downey kicks it deep for the Tigers. It's taken at the 22, brought up field to the 30-yard line. Bloom to the 35, bounces it inside. He's trying to reverse field at the 40, and he gets around the corner to the 45 and cut down right at actually the 44-yard line, and a nice run back by Adam Bloom. Most of it, though, east-west. It's like Meineke Car Care in Farmington, Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, and Preferred Land Title for helping us to bring you coverage of high school football on regional radio.
You know, Tim, we played 22 seconds, and had a score. And, it's just that fast.
And the second drive for the Farmington offense after the interception taken for a touchdown. This is Baker taking it to the left side. He's running to the sideline across the 50, slips, and he has a pickup of about 7 yards, as that was the design run for Baker.
Yeah, and that's that inside zone that they run. And he initially crossed the line of scrimmage and saw he could cut outside, and we saw him try to make a second cut and couldn't maintain his balance. A little slippery there.
They get it into Festus territory, and with just 11 minutes to go in the first quarter, Baker with an inside zone running play again to the right this time, leaps over a couple tacklers, has the first down to the 45 of Festus, now to the 40, brought down inside
First down run.
the 40 to the 37-yard line.
And as we see Baker, trying to maintain his balance with it being a little slippery, we also see the defenders having trouble react to him because it is a little slippery in the middle.
This will be a 1st and 10 for the Knights from the 37-yard line. Baker going to run it again. Looks for space through the middle. He sheds a tackler. He breaks through the middle. He's got open space to the 20-yard line. Stumbles. And he's inside near the 10. And if he didn't trip over himself, he would have gone for 6.
Well, what's happening there in the middle as he was striding, as he had planted his foot, it was sliding on him. And it's not extremely wet, but it's slippery on top.
It'll be a first down for the Knights. This is all on the legs of Aaron Baker, the quarterback, and they're taking that inside zone play and picking up big yardage to Festus defenders, trying to pump up the crowd. First and 10 from the 11. Baker going to take it himself around the right end to the goal line, just short. Takes it near the 4-yard line.
Yeah, and I think that's designed by Coach Vaughn right now, because what happened is they come out, big ball game, you throw your third pass play for an interception, and now he comes out and runs the ball and settles the offense down a little bit.
Baker out of shotgun, he's going to run it again. He goes to the right side, trying to follow blockers. He's stacked up and driven backwards. Got maybe a yard on that, back to the line of scrimmage for sure.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, that now they still have about a yard to go for that first down, so they're capable of getting a first down here before they get in the end zone. So they got 2 downs now to gain a yard.
3rd and a yard from inside the 5-yard line. Baker in shotgun with 5 wide, and he'll take it to the left this time. He is dragged down from behind by Silkwood. He got a piece of Baker's jersey and brought him backwards, but where was forward progress for the Farmington quarterback? It wasn't close enough. It'll be short.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down. In fact, he might have lost a little bit, and they look like they might be a little disorganized there all of a sudden with their running plays, and Festus has switched that up in the middle on them and created a little bit more problem running inside.
Going for it on 4th down and about 1.5 yards. Baker in shotgun with Peterson in the backfield with him. 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side of Baker, who gets a play change from the sideline. Now from shotgun, looks over the sideline again for a play change. 7-0 Festus with 9:07 to play and timeout called. The Knights will burn their first of the first half. Want to thank Old Plank Road Saddles and Tack in Farmington, Comtree in Festus, and Jefferson College in Hillsborough for helping us to bring you high school football. Back in 1 minute on Regional Radio. Fourth down, field goal try for the Knights, a 23-yarder, and Adam Bloom kicks it long enough, and it is good. He splits the uprights and gets the Farmington Knights on the board. Yeah, and good to get points on the board if you're the Farmington Knights doing it with the run. It's 7-3 Festus, 9:03 to play first quarter on Regional Radio. Adam Bloom will kick it off for the Knights. Now he's the short kicker for Farmington. Colton Piggott's been kicking on the long ones all season on kickoffs, and this is a short kick taken at the 20-yard line and brought up to the 40-yard line, near the 40-yard line, about the 38. And Festus will take over with good field position. I want to thank Precision Foundations and Excavating in Farmington and Bootsy Unichem USA in Festus for helping us to bring you high school football. Tim Pig averaging 44 yards a kick, not here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. That was Miles Beckett on that return, and I tell you what, he's impressive when he sticks that ball under his wing.
First and 10 Festus, the first drive they've had. We'll get to the starters as we can. As Sean Crump is the starting quarterback. He'll hand it off to Tyler White, trying the right side. He fights for yardage. Not much there, but he makes about a 4-yard gain out of it. He is the starting running back along with R.J. Lewis. The starting fullback is Jeremy Colton. Miles Beckett, the wide receiver. Tight end Patrick Kopp. Offensive line Corey Riggs, Lance Silkwood, Jordan Lucas, Luke Hamdorf, and Chris Walter. Heath Hennis, Grant Beavers, Kevin Pethitis, the front three along the line for Farmington defensively. Trent Busenbark and Andrew Human, the outside linebackers. Jordan Hampton, Derek Small, and Kendall May, the inside backers, as the handoff goes through the middle and short pickup about 2-3 yards out to the 45-yard line. Looks like it was White on the carry again, as the starting secondary for the Knights is Adam Bloom, Parks Peterson, and Jordan Kimley.
You know what's interesting? You see Festus, they platoon with their wide receiver. You know, Beckett, and they're bringing in Palmero and bringing in plays, and then Farmington's on the ball and calling them from the sideline, and both get it done, and one a little quicker than the other.
3rd and 2.5 yards. Beckett, the wide receiver to the left, and movement along the line of scrimmage. A flag down, play blown dead. We'll check the marker.
Looked like the right side of the defensive line was in the neutral zone, Tim. I think they're going to be backed up, give a first down. Be 1st and 10 for Festus.
Yep. First penalty goes against the Knights. Looked like they were going to bring a blitz. Couldn't wait long enough.
Yeah, but you got to give credit Festus. All you need is about 3 yards for a first down, and you do a hard count, and here they come into the neutral zone.
Beckett comes wide to the right. Lone receiver in a wishbone formation. Handoff goes to Tyler White. He makes a beeline for the sideline. He's got first down yardage to the 40, lowers the shoulder for a few more as he hammered Sparks Peterson with the shoulder for that pass near the 35, and he's out of bounds at the 36.
And Tim, that's just old-fashioned, simple football. They beat Farmington to the corner and got off tackle and got outside and picked up a big gain.
So Festus moving the ball on the ground on this cold, somewhat sloppy night on the field. And they stack it in tight again. They hand it to the fullback. Colton moves the pile a couple of yards. Got about 3 on the play as the Tigers get them across the 35-yard line. They're in Farmington territory, driving the football here with 7:30 to play and a 7-3 Tigers lead in the first quarter. Now Palmero out, Beckett back in at wide receiver.
And Tim, so far Festus' offensive line has played really well, and they're keeping their feet under them. That's very, very important. When it's slick and it's muddy, you got to keep your feet under you and keep balance.
High formation behind Crump as Crump's going to hand it to White running left now, cuts it through the middle, now bounces off the tackle, gets the first down, he's loose on the side, 10-yard line, and to the corner of the end zone, he's just short, on down inside the 5. Then go down to the field, Ryan Reinheimer, what do you see with this Festus offensive line? First and goal from the Farmington 3. Wishbone formation in the backfield. They'll hand it to White running through the middle. He dives and he's going to be short.
Tim, short in that area though. It don't have to be very long.
Right.
I mean, they're down to about the 2-foot line.
They're on the 1. Second down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Inside the 1.
And you just saw that Farmington made a substitution, put a little more beef in the middle in there, brought Grant Beavers out.
Wishbone formation in the backfield behind Crump. Crump hands it to White, dives for the end zone. No signal yet. We wait to sort out the pile here, and I don't think they're going to give him the score. It's going to be third down. So he picked up a foot on that play, and they're a foot away now from the goal line, and Farmington getting some push back a little bit that time.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's difficult. It's difficult to stand your ground sometimes when you're being pushed against, so they're going to have to fire off and stay low if they're going to be successful on that defensive line.
5:38 to play. Wishbone again. Hand it to White. Through the left side. He's through for the touchdown. The Tigers are now 13-3, pending the extra point.
And we haven't played but half of the first quarter, but there's been a lot of action, a lot of excitement so far.
Tyler White is 19th touchdown of the season, Ryan, and he is something special as a senior running back. It's been a while since I've heard a Chris Carter reference as Palmero holds for the extra point and White kicks it high and looks to be good. It is good. 14-3 Festus as we are in the first quarter with 5:33 remaining. We're back in 1 minute on regional radio. Travis Downey will kick it away for the Festus Tigers who lead by 2 scores. And it's taken by Adam Bloom at the 25. He gets upfield in a hurry to the 40 and about the 41 before he's knocked off his feet. Bloom with all 3 returns in the kickoff. We'd like to thank Crown Equipment in St. Genevieve, as well as Long John Silver's A&W in Farmington, and AT&T in Festus for bringing you high school football on regional radio.
And these two big powerhouses here going toe to toe. And you had the interception for Farmington, and you had to run down a touchdown for of course a run in down there for Festus, and just 3 points for Farmington, and they're going to square off here. We're going to have a dandy.
5 wide receivers, 3 to the left of Baker as he looks to pass. He pump fakes, now he scrambles to the pocket and he's taken down for a sack. Only a loss of 1, but still the loss of the down, as it looked like it was Amsden perhaps with his 12th sack of the season. Nearly a second interception thrown. It was in and out of the hands of the linebacker, David Purcell, and for all intents and purposes, probably should have had 6 the other way.
Nearly an interception is correct. Hit him right in the hands. And, of course, Baker then is looking over the sideline like his hands are wet and he needs a towel or something. And I don't know, he's got one on his belt, but it seems like it's not enough.
Go back to that update, right? District unbeatens there in Class 2, Crystal and Scott City. From shotgun, it's third down. Baker throws. It's complete on the far sideline to Parks Peterson. He's stacked up and he fights through tacklers for extra yardage out to the 50 and might have enough for the first down unless he stepped out of bounds. That was incredible. He had 3 guys around him.
Looks like, Tim, for all practical purposes, it looks like that they're marking the thing just a little bit short.
He may have stepped out about a yard short, but he had the football, it looked like, at the marker for the first down. It will be short by a yard, and it's 4th down, decision time, and they bring in the battering ram, Kendall May.
In comes Kendall May, in comes another tight end.
They're going to try to play some smash mouth, it looks like, and get a yard and gamble a little bit, rolling the dice on 4th and 1 from the 49 of Farmington. Bloom hustles off the field. Still 2 wide receivers set up. As they'll hand it to May through the middle. May got close. Will depend on the spot. It will depend on the spot, and Ryan Reinehammer's the closest one of our crew down there.
Number 31, Kendall May on the play.
Farmington fans don't like the spot. Festus fans don't necessarily like it either. It's very close. They'll bring it out. 4:42 remaining in the first quarter. 14-3 Farmington, and this could be a tide shifter here. If Farmington can get it by inches, or if Festus will have held and force the turnover on downs. It'll give us a chance to thank a few more of our high school football sponsors, including Medicine Shop Pharmacies in Festus, Plaza Tire Service in Festus, and Hood's Discount Home Center in Farmington. It is short, and the Tigers take over at the 49 of Farmington after they held on 4 downs.
And, you know, that's big. I mean, because, you know, Farmington has not really controlled the offense of Festus at this point. And I know we're early in the first quarter, but they have not slowed down that offensive attack, and then they're going to turn it over to them here at midfield.
This is a Festus offense that, with the exception of 1 week against Fox, they put up 40, 32, 48, 43, 68, 49, and then 27 last week in a last-second victory over North County. Only 1 week did they not hit at least 27 points as Sean Crump will fake the handoff. He looks to throw deep downfield, has Beckett, but it's incomplete. It was shorted by about 2 or 3 yards, and Beckett was streaking behind the defenders, but the defenders were playing the football.
But, you know, there's a classic example of Russ Schmidt going right for the throat. I mean, you know, he's up 14-3, first play from scrimmage. You give him the ball in midfield, he's going to stick it in the end zone.
2nd and 10 from the Farmington 49. Crump under center, landed to White running right, and he finds a hole. He's hit after pickup of 5, and it was Kevin Petitas running down the line that caught up with him.
Yeah, and I tell you what, right now, there is so much momentum on Festus. You know, they come out, had an interception, had one in their hands. You know, they score a touchdown. Now they get the ball at midfield, and there's a lot of confidence on the black and gold side of Festus right now.
Palmero was in on that play at wide receiver. Now Beckett retakes the wide receiver spot, and Beckett running the play in from the sideline, and 4:04 to go in quarter number 1. 14-3 Festus, a 3rd and 5 from just short of the Farmington 45-yard line. Crump under center with the stacked backfield, hands it to White, and White's hitting the backfield, spins back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all he's going to get. No gain for the Tigers It'll be 4th and a long 5 to go, and perhaps a decision to be made.
Yeah, outside linebacker Andrew Human just coming down the field and ran right into him. And of course, playing in position made him turn back inside.
Good penetration that time by the Knights. First time we've really seen that from the Knights defensively, and not sure which unit Festus has. It looks like they will run a play.
Actually, number 10's in
Okay,
the punt, I believe. I don't know that he's their normal punter. I think actually Sean Crump has been the punter, hasn't he?
This is Ryan Yingle. He's the backup punter. He's going to kick it away from his own 45, and he gets it off the side of the foot. A wobbly kick that bounces at the 27, picked up by Parks Peterson. He tries to reverse field, go to the left side. Now he's going to cut back, go to the right. He is trying to pick up a block, dancing around in the backfield. He hops over a tackler, and he's tripped up by another at the 24. A lot of that east-west running again.
Well, you know, this field actually does lay north and south. and I mean, you know, if they're going to be successful in the mud, they're going to have to run north and south, because as you can see, dancing back and forth is so slippery. You know, that's difficult.
It's not the fast track that Peterson's used to at home at Farmington High School with the artificial field turf. From the 24, it's 1st and 10 for the Knights. Shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers. Baker looking to his left. He fires it complete at the, looks like the 29-yard line to Peterson. Pick up 5, maybe 6 on that, depending on the spot.
You know, Tim, Baker's just not comfortable. You know, whether it's the ground conditions or the ball's wet or his hand slippery, he just hadn't gotten a rhythm yet to throw the football.
2nd and 5 for the Knights. From shotgun again, Baker looks to throw. He fires right side this time. It's complete for a first down to Doug Noble. Noble bounces it outside, picks up a couple more before he's wrapped up and dropped at the 37-yard line.
And I say that because he's just been dancing, and he's got happy feet, and now the play through to Peterson was not the worst throw in the world, but it wasn't at him. He had to go to his knees, and then he hit Noble there. He's starting to get his rhythm.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of Farmington. Baker bobbles the snap, now throws it complete to Bullard at the 43. Bullard gets north and south in a hurry, and he's got first down yardage across to the 47-yard line.
And you know, Farmington is starting to pass the ball a little bit, but don't forget Baker on that inside zone, because he is
setting that up right now.
He is going to continue to throw a few passes at you, and then he's going to bust through into that secondary.
They may measure this. I thought he had enough at first glance, but they may measure it, and they will. They'll bring the chain gang from the far side of the field, and Ryan Reinheimer, we once again go down to you, and you've got the closest view of the three of us on whether it's a first down or not. Speed kills. Those two teams battling out for district supremacy, and it's enough to move the chains. It looks like he was, well, maybe not. It looked like he was about to looks like he was about to throw that arm forward. No, they're going to say he's inches short.
One chain link, huh?
Second down coming up, and literally about an inch and a half. You know how they normally put out their hands and it's like a foot or a couple feet? That was, his index finger and thumb were not very far apart.
Well, as they set the end of the chain down, the pole wasn't straight up and down. And he's almost signaling first down until they straighten it up, and then there was a little daylight between the pole and the end of the ball.
I'd like to thank Career Uniforms in Farmington, Keith's Carryout in Farmington, and Jefferson Memorial Hospital in Festus, Crystal City, for helping us to bring you high school football. Second and extremely short for the Knights, who trail Festus 14-3 with just under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, which has been an entertaining quarter.
And very fast-paced.
We got 3 more of these after these? Maybe even more. Who knows? Baker lines up the troops, and 5 wide receivers, but they're all tight in this particular formation. Baker may just run it here. We'll see. Out of shotgun, Baker actually looking to throw, has great protection, plenty of time, fires it complete to Noble for the first down at the 50-yard line. And this should be spotted right at midfield, maybe in forward progress at 49. teams leading receptions with 46 catches, 662 yards, and 9 scores.
And now you see him widen it out, Tim. They're still in the 5 receiver set, no back in the backfield, but they're widening it out.
Baker going to run on the inside zone, and not a whole lot of daylight. He's going to lose yardage as he's stacked up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And Baker found no seams in that defensive line for the Tigers.
No, they're bunched in there so tight. I mean, there's only about 7 or 8 feet amongst the whole offensive and defensive line there, and he didn't have anywhere to go, and it's very treacherous to try to make a cut to go to the outside.
I did not. Now timeout being called, it looked like, on the Farmington sideline. Maybe Todd Vaughn saw the same thing as Baker was going to run that play, but right before the snap, Todd Vaughn said, nope, I don't like the way this is looking. I'm calling the timeout. It'll be 2nd and 12 Farmington when we return to Festus High School with the Tigers leading the Knights 14-3 on Regional Radio. Coming out of the timeout, Baker fumbled the snap. It was actually a low snap. He picked it up, though, and completed a pass to Peterson for a short gain across the 50 and a pickup of 4 yards. It'll make it 3rd and about 8 to go. And the Knights lining up now on the Festus 47-yard line. The 3rd down play, Baker from shotgun, 5 wide outs. He fires to the sideline. It's caught. It should be short of a first down. As they keep the clock running, tackled by Jeff Kopp inbounds was Ethan Bullard.
Yeah, you're going to be about 1.5 yards short, Tim. And it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen here, but I don't think Farmington has any doubt that they're going to go for it.
They're going for it, 4th and 2 from the Festus 42. 1 man in the backfield with Baker. Now the play being changed on the sideline with 4 wide receivers. Festus stacking it close as Peterson is guarded by his fellow number 3, Miles Beckett, on the outside. Now another play change. Play clock ticking down. Baker, and they're going to call their 3rd. No, they're going to let the quarter wind down, actually. Quarter winds down to zeros, and Festus gets an interception return for a touchdown by Miles Beckett. Farmington a 23-yard Adam Bloom field goal, and Tyler White for Festus a 1-yard touchdown plunge. And it's 14-3 Tigers after 1 quarter of play on Regional Radio. As on 4th and 2, it's a snap and a first down as the quarterback Baker went straight through the middle for a pickup of 5, and the Knights will get the first down.
And Tim, there's a big mismatch here on the field. Even though they ran the ball, they have 3 wide receivers out here to the right side. There are only 2 defenders covering them. There are only 2 defenders here. And that's going to have to go up top to the right side.
Baker immediately throws it to the sideline for Noble. He makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage, and he's tackled by Palmero, who came up on that play, and somebody just missed a blocking assignment there.
Yeah, they did, and of course he's a heck of an athlete too. I mean, he's difficult to block, but if they continue to leave the 3 receivers with only 2 people, they threw a screen that time at it. If they send those 3 down the field, it's very difficult. They're playing man-to-man.
2nd and 13 for the Knights out of shotgun Baker. He'll pump fake, now fire it, and we'll wait for the call. Did he catch it or not? Incomplete. And it would have been by the Farmington players.
Would have been for no gain anyway, Tim. Just as well he dropped it. It was a low pass again, and Baker's thrown several of those shoe top high.
You got to figure Farmington's in 4-down territory, although it's 3rd and 13 from the 35-yard line of Festus. Now some confusion as a player's out of position. That's Silkwood, and the pass complete at the 30-yard line. It'll be a short pickup for the Knights, complete to Doug Noble. And it'll be 4th and around 6.
Yeah, and Ampson was out there on the coverage, and boy, he hit him just as he caught the ball. It's amazing that he held on to it.
4th and 6, Knights going for it from the 30-yard line. Out of shotgun, Baker has some time now, has to get through the pocket. Escapes a tackler in Ampson, but he can't get around Ryan Lingle, and he makes the sack and forces the turnover on downs. The Tigers take over at the 35-yard line.
And number 48, Jake Ampson. The first down for the Tigers.
Who missed him the first time. You had Amsden in the back pocket of Baker first, then Baker eluded Amsden, Yengel tied him up, and Amsden got up off the ground and came back for more. But he is a tough player, and that is his 13th sack. If you give it maybe a half sack, so maybe 12 and a half on the season now. For Jake Amsden of the Festus Tigers, and Sean Crump leads a stacked backfield with a wishbone formation, hands it off on misdirection to White, and he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as the Farmington defense penetrated through the offensive line of the Tigers.
Yeah, they ran a little misdirection. Jordan Hampton stayed home and was there waiting for the back as he cut back, and a good defensive play.
14-3, Festus leading Farmington, 10 minutes to go. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. High formation with Colton, the fullback, and White, the deep back, and White's going to get the handoff running right, and he skips through the middle. He's got a big opening through the middle of the field. A blocker downfield, across midfield to the 50, 40, brought down inside the 30. At about the 27-yard line, big run by Tyler White. That's why he's so special.
Well, and you know, he's running off tackle, and the defensive end, or excuse me, outside linebacker is turning that back end to the inside, but there's no linebacker there. And, you know, that's going to be a long night for the Knights if those linebackers don't stay home and make plays.
First down for the Tigers on their own 28.
First down for the Tigers, 28-yard line of Farmington. Quick snap as they give it to the fullback, Colton, and he's got tough yardage through the middle, close to a first down at about the 20.
And, you know, I tell you what, that was pretty good, a pretty good fake there. Actually, the quarterback, after he handed off, acted like he still had the ball, and that caused some confusion that maybe why he wasn't tackled as early as he was.
Sean Crump, only a sophomore, but he's leading this team down the field and has his Tigers up on the Knights 14-3, and looking for more here. It'll be 2nd and a yard and a half from the 20. Crump under center I formation, 2 to his right, and he hands it to White through the middle. He's got the first down inside the 20 to the 17.
And, you know, they're just pounding it in there. I mean, you know, that offensive line is getting low, and they're digging, and they're pushing that defensive line and linebackers back, and they really have momentum with them right now.
I'd like to thank Desired Health Chiropractic, Dr. Adam Overcast from Farmington, and Crown Collision in Farmington for helping us to bring you high school football on regional radio. 8:38 to play. Festus trying to make this a 3-score game. If they can get it into the end zone. And Crump going to take it himself around the right end, looking for extra yardage, and he's got a pickup of about 6. He gets it inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line.
And, you know, there were several opportunities there to tackle him. And, of course, Farmington just didn't tackle very well. Of course, that's a tribute to Beckett because he kept his feet moving, and he's, to the quarterback. He kept his feet moving, and he was really running well.
Crump taking it himself there, and a 2nd and 5 coming up. Ball on the 12-yard line. Tigers in the red zone going right to left. Handoff to White running right. Has a hole. Now he bounces it inside, following blockers to the goal line just short. He's tackled at the line. Now a single touchdown. A single touchdown, I believe. And it's Festus 20, Farmington 3.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I never did see an official raise his arm.
I didn't either. So, I don't know that too many people would have thought that Festus would be leading by 3 scores as the extra point try from Tommy Wright is up, and it is through the uprights, 21-3. Tigers setting the pace here against Farmington here in the first half with 7:43 to play on regional radio. Travis Downey will kick it deep for the Tigers, kicking right to left, and it's Adam Bloom taking it at the 15. He works it upfield, looks for a block, he skips by a defender, and then he runs into a wall of black shirts at the 26-yard line. That's where the Knights will take over on offense, down 21-3. We would like to thank Babe's Container Service in Festus, along with Twin City Marine in Festus, and Coldwell banker Sherry Fincher, also in Festus, for bringing you high school football on regional radio. Knights up to the line, down by 3 scores. Out of shotgun, Baker. He looks to his right, he passes. It is complete. After a bobble by Doug Noble, he popped it up in the air, and I didn't know if he came down with it or not as he was surrounded and swarmed right where he caught it, a gain of 5. With guys bearing down on him, too.
That was a dangerous bobble because it was up in the air for anybody there for about a count.
Thoughts and prayers with him and his family. And Doug Noble with a reception for a first down at the 41-yard line, and they go right back to Noble after he made the pass reception.
Yeah. And Tim, what you're seeing now is the last 2 formations you've seen a back in the backfield giving him a little extra, Baker a little extra protection. Now they're spreading it out and got 5 wide receivers.
Baker all alone behind center, actually in shotgun, but in the backfield he's rushed, and Hamdorf going to bring him down to the set. Loss on the play of 8 yards.
Yeah, that was just the defensive tackle was unblocked and just came hard upfield, Luke Hamdorf, and Baker didn't have any time to do anything except take the sack.
Came right off the left edge and he kind of zeroed in on Baker, had plenty of time to find which part of the body he wanted to drill. As Baker rushed again by Ampson, fires downfield. It's incomplete, intended for Bloom at the Festus 45, as Ampson was bearing down that time, looking for his 3rd sack of the night.
Yeah, and Bloom had his defender beat by a couple yards. However, Baker had to throw the ball before he wanted to. Bloom had not cleared completely into the open, and it was just a little bit of a rush throw.
It's 3rd and about 20 to go for the Farmington Knights on their own 31. They need a large pass play to even think about going for it on 4th down, or maybe to move the chains here. Baker with 5 wide receivers takes a low snap. He looks left. He's got time. He's going to roll out to the right side. He fires complete and picks up a big chunk of yardage as catching it and running out of bounds was Peterson at the 45 of Festus. Makes it about a 4th and 5. Peterson giving an option to Aaron Baker, who was plumb out of options, rushing out to his right.
Yeah, and it's very difficult running to his right and trying to throw downfield with the grass a little bit slippery, and they ended up going to be a 4th down, and they're going to punt the ball away.
Knights are going to play field position here with Peterson to punt it away from his own 32. He gets a good snap. He is not rushed very hard, and he punts it away, bounces at the 40 of Festus, takes a Farmington roll to the 34-yard line, and rolls out of bounds there. And it dies at the 34, so Festus will take over at its own 34-yard line. 5:48 to go, 21-3, Tigers on top. I'd like to thank the law office of Breeze, Roberts, Ponder, Bates, and Zimmer in Festus, along with Harold's Market of Imperial, and Donald Nations Construction in Farmington for helping us to bring you coverage of high school football.
And you know, Tim, when they go into halftime, the locker room, Coach Smith's going to say, hey, we played a well-executed first half. Coach Vaughn's going to say, we were sloppy.
Still some time in this first half as Crump hands it off to White, tries to leap for yardage, and he got drilled when he was up in the air, brought down by a couple of white shirts of the Farmington Knights.
Well, I mean, you know, normally you leave your feet if you need a yard, but that was first and 10, and he got back to the 1st and 10 marker.
If you leave your feet to try to get yardage, you're usually going to be knocked off your feet in a hurry.
You're vulnerable. You're vulnerable. You're in a dangerous situation.
5:15 to go in the half, and another handoff through the middle, and the fullback, I believe, Colton got that carry and takes it 4 yards upfield to the 39-yard line.
You know, one of the big keys here for Festus' defense is they've kind of stymied Farmington's vertical throw up the field. I mean, they have them so out of sync and throwing the ball up, and the short passes is all they've been able to throw, and they've covered those very quickly.
3rd and 5, and Crump fakes the handoff, looks to throw, he's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete across the middle. He was going for the tight end, Patrick Cobb, and he was hurried through it before he wanted to.
Andrew Human got there in a hurry. He's playing a good ball game. He got there. He did not leave his feet. He did not do anything other than take the quarterback who had just released the ball.
I tell you to run through those tackles and not lunge at a guy who's in the backfield, because he can easily step over to one side and make him miss completely.
Or jump to try to get the ball and he pull it down and run away from you. He played it very well.
Yengel will punt it away from the 27-yard line. High snap. He brings it down and he kicks it, but it's off to the side, and it's a short kick to the 45-yard line. And Farmington's coaches along that sideline waving, stay away, stay away. Don't even think about touching it, because we got good field position as it's down at the 44-yard line of Festus. So Farmington gets good field position.
Yeah, basically it was a fourth down, and the ball didn't get to the first down marker. And boy, that's a big break for Farmington.
4:31 and a short field for the Knights. What can they do with it? Festus has been awfully good, stymieing, as you said earlier, Howard, the Knights' passing attack. Farmington hasn't gone back to the run a whole lot since that one drive when they got the field goal.
The one series. After they threw the interception and gave up 7 for Festus going the other way, then they brought the ball down almost exclusively every play running, and then since that time they have tried to run a little bit, but it's been unsuccessful.
You may see it a little bit more here with 4.5 to go in the first half and a 21-3 Festus lead. Number 3 Farmington in Class 4 against number 9 Festus. They come out with 3 wide receivers tight to the right, 2 wide to the left, and 1 man in the backfield. Second is 2 wide receivers to the right of Baker. From shotgun, Baker has plenty of time, and he's going to be wrapped up around the ankles. He throws, and he touched instead. He thought he was going to have time to throw it, but then he tucked it and took the sack. A 7 or 8 yard loss as he was wrapped up around the ankles, and then 2 more came in. Hamdorf was in there, and a couple others to finish him off.
Yeah.
Number 32, Thomas Stubbs.
Baker from shotgun on 2nd and 16. He's going to run it to the left side. Not much doing there. He got a couple of yards out near the 46.
You're exactly right. On the play before Palmero, it was a pump fake to Noble. And they faked it, and Palmero didn't bite. I mean, he stayed right in Noble's pocket the whole time. Therefore, it was a coverage sack.
3rd and 15. Clock ticking under 4 to play in the half, and Farmington with a long way to go to convert this. 5 wide as Baker takes the shotgun snap. Pretty good protection. He fires downfield for Bloom. It's intercepted by Beck. No, he dropped it. Beckett had his hands on it, but he dropped it at the 14-yard line.
He's giving him a catch, Tim.
They are giving it to him.
Well, I don't know if the question is the ground causing a fumble there, or the question would be, did he have possession of the ball when he hit the ground?
Yep. As far as I could see, it looked like he had it for maybe a second, but I couldn't tell if he bobbled it at all from my angle. And Ryan, it was even tough for you to see, I know. But they're giving Miles Beckett his 2nd interception of the game, and Festus takes over on its own 14-yard line.
You know, it looked like he dove for it and he turned his back to the ground, but when he hit the ground, the ball was laying on his stomach and he didn't have a hand on it. So
Crump under center, hand still White running to the right side, picks up a block, he gets outside, and he has a burst of speed up the sideline. He has the first down across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
He can do it.
And you know, Festus is playing so well in these conditions. I mean, they're keeping their feet moving, they're keeping their weight over their feet, and they're really moving. The Farmington's having difficulty keeping their feet and keeping their balance.
Up to the line of scrimmage come the Tigers. An eye behind Crump, 1 man split to the right, and the handoff to White. He tries to bust it outside. He bounces off of the tackler, but he's going to be brought down.
Farmington says they have the ball.
Lost the football, and Farmington takes it. That all happened quickly, and the Farmington Knights get a key turnover here, and they'll have another chance to maybe punch one in the end zone with about 2:56 to play.
Well, I tell you what, Festus has done an excellent job the first half, taking care of the football, executing. And that's the first blemish that they'll have in the first half.
First turnover for the Tigers. Farmington has committed 2 here in half number 1, 21-3 Festus, but the Knights with a 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 33. And Baker leads the offense back on the field. 4 wide receivers and 1 man in the backfield with Baker. From shotgun, he calls the signals, he takes the snap. He's rushed, he fires, it is complete, and coming across the field, picking up a block to the 20-yard line, the 18 is Parks Peterson, and Peterson was 1 step or a block away from taking it all the way.
Yeah, you know, but here again, he had that much yardage and then decided to run across the field, and of course, as slippery as it is, it's difficult to cut.
Same formation, ball on the right hash mark, first down, and 10 at the 16. And the handoff to Jordan Hampton, trying the left side off tackle, and he's going to be gobbled up, swallowed by the black shirts of Festus for a loss of 2 on the play.
You know, Tim, when the field conditions are a little treacherous, one of the things that's causing a little bit of a problem for Farmington when they run the ball is they're already about 6 yards deep in the backfield. And then they're trying to make a cut and head to a hole, and it's a little slippery.
2nd and 12, firing to the end zone for Noble. It is incomplete. And Noble had a step on Palmero, but looked like Palmero might have gotten a hand on that pass.
Yeah.
2:11 to go, and a 3rd down coming up for the Knights.
Yeah, it looked like it was thrown behind him, which was in Palmero's advantage because he was a step behind him, so it just didn't work out.
3rd and 12 from the 18-yard line. Baker looking to throw. He fires it. It's complete to Peterson on the far sideline, and he's going to be wrapped up, and he'll be well short of a 1st down with 2 minutes to play and the clock moving. It'll be a 4th down play and another decision to be made for the Farmington Knights. They're down 21-3.
You know, I don't think they're going to make any decision here. I think as far as they are behind, they're going to call timeout and talk about it. But as far as they are behind, I would be surprised if I saw the field goal team go out.
That's the 3rd timeout for the Knights this half. They burned their final 1, and they're probably going for more points here, as 3 isn't going to do them a whole lot of good, down 21-3 on 4th and 9 play. We're back in 30 seconds on regional radio. After the Farmington timeout, 4th and 9 from the Festus 16-yard line. Farmington going for it. 4 wide receivers, 1 man in the backfield to keep the defense honest, and Baker in shotgun. He takes the snap. He's looking to throw to his left. Now goes to his right. He fires to the end zone. Caught. Did he come down with it?
Yes, he made a good catch.
Touchdown.
Made a good
Farmington.
catch.
Big play. Adam Bloom makes the reception. It is Adam Bloom, his 3rd receiving touchdown, and what a catch.
Yeah, he was sandwiched. I mean, yeah, he got hammered and held on to the ball. And the confusion was that everybody was standing around looking, and the officials were just like us. They were standing there. Did he catch that?
The back judge kind of walked over there. I think he was concerned about Bloom's condition because he got hit so hard.
And he gets up with the
ball.
ball.
And then he realized that, I have to signal touchdown.
Now Farmington's going for 2, Tim.
Going for 2. It's 21-9. Baker in shotgun, rolling right. He fires to the end zone. Caught for the 2 in the corner of the end zone by Adam Bloom. He accounts for all 8 points on that series, and it's 21-11, making it a 10-point game. Howard.
Yeah, and you know that's why Coach Vaughn had to make a statement there, because it would look like for a point that they were going to get blown out of this football game, and he wasn't going to be satisfied on that 4th down, and he wanted to go for the end zone, and then he wanted to get the 2 points to get it back to a 2-possession game, and of course that's important with the momentum taking it away from Festus here as they go into halftime.
Big catches by Adam Bloom from Aaron Baker. 21-11 our score with 1:52 to play in the 1st half on regional radio. 1:52 to go. Tim Ryan, Howard Hain, and Ryan Reinheimer as Bloom approaches the ball, and he squibs it. Did it go off of somebody up front? It doesn't matter. It's picked up by Jeff Kopp at the 25. Kopp working his way upfield to the 29-yard line before he's hit and driven backwards by the...
Yeah, and you see a little more fire in the Farmington players now. I mean, they were behind and are still behind by 10 and had a lot of momentum going with Festus, but there's just a little spark there now that they've scored, playing with a little more enthusiasm.
Big difference between 10 and 18 points, and still the first half could be, could change score here, but big difference right now on the scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, Tim, you got to take your hat off those Festus Tigers. I mean, they come out and have played a flawless first half, except for the fumble.
Wishbone formation, handoff to the fullback, Colton, working his way through the middle and not much doing there. Pickup of a yard or two as he ran into a crowd and was brought down.
And confidence, and they had got so much confidence, and you know, they started out the ball game with Russ Smith saying, hey, we won the toss. We don't want the ball. We're going to play defense, and we're going to shut you down, and we're going to score, and then we'll take the ball in the second half. And it's worked out great for them.
Certainly worked to the plan that he had set forth when he deferred on the opening coin toss. I formation, Beckett split out to the right, Kimry on him. And they'll give it to Colton again through the middle, and Colton fighting for yardage, and he squirts out of the pile, and he comes up a yard short, maybe got enough for the first down, depending on the spot.
You know, and that's big for Festus here. You know, they know that Farmington is explosive, and if they don't score, they don't want to leave any time on the clock when halftime gets here.
Farmington doesn't have a choice to stop the clock. They've used all 3 timeouts they have this half, and down to 46, and Festus going to use as much clock as they can, it looks like. 3rd and a half a yard. Stack it in. And the handoff through the middle. Colton, the fullback, is going to have enough for the first down by the nose of the football. And with 26 seconds to go, there may be a timeout just to move the chains.
Yeah, Tim, you hear the fans here from Festus getting a little restless. I mean, the clock's running down, and of course, they're content so far to just run the clock out here in the first half.
The Tigers have 3 timeouts, but the question is, do they want to use them? The clock restarted after the spot of the football, down to 24, 23, 22. And Festus just in the huddle, not going to try to conserve any clock. They'll run one more play, it looks like, and whatever the result of that is, be content with what's going on at halftime.
And they have a back. They're going to take a knee, I believe. And
Crump
they do.
does take a knee. And that'll do it for the first half, as we're down to 3, 2, and 1 going off the clock. The Festus Tigers showing it with defense and offense, but the Farmington Knights come back with a late score in this first half. It's 21-11. The Tigers on top of the Knights on Regional Radio.
You may not know their names, but the students who are helped through a Jefferson College Foundation scholarship carry thanks in their hearts. It's for the kindness that our contributors have shown. Make a difference in their tomorrows.
Education, the great equalizer. It doesn't just mean you get more knowledge, it means you improve your quality of life.
Give to the Jefferson College Foundation today.
You know, Tim, I'll say this, Festus has been the team that's taken Farmington out of their offense more than anybody all year long. And other teams have done it at times, but consistently in the first half they did that.
Bloom squibs it, onside kick, and it's going to be smothered at the 45-yard line by number 6, Trey Martin, a sophomore for the Tigers.
Yeah, you know, not that it's a desperation or anything like that, but just try to catch you off guard coming in here in the second half. And it went the distance, you know, but it was a great reception by the up lineman.
It was too good almost, skimming across the ground. It didn't have any of those tricky hops or bounces.
It didn't bounce, and it just kind of, it was a mudder. It just kind of hit the mud and slid across it.
So Crump and the Tigers with great field position. The sophomore quarterback creeps under center, scans the Farmington defense. Ball on the right hash mark from the 45-yard line, and Crump going to run up the middle, actually. It's Colton, it looks like, getting the handoff through the middle. And a gain of 4 on the play, maybe 5 out to midfield.
Yeah, you know, and they come out, that offensive line comes out for Festus and gives it to the fullback and gains 5 yards. And, you know, that's going to be difficult for Farmington if they don't do something a little different on that defensive line.
Pick up a 5, it's 2nd and 5. One man split to the left is Beckett. And the handoff to White running left. He skips through a tackler. He's got the first down at the 45-yard line to the 40, 38-yard line. First down, 37 in Farmington territory in 2 plays. And the Tigers moving the chains and looking pretty impressive.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you know, they run up the middle for 5, and then they bounce it off tackle with a lead to the left side, and Farmington's going to have to make some adjustments on that defensive front, or it's going to be a long second half.
First and 10 Tigers on the Farmington 38-yard line. Crump under center. He'll give it to the fullback. Straight dive through the middle, and another pickup of 4, maybe 5, depending on the spot. Boy, when you're getting 5 from your fullback and about 15 or 20 from your tailback, like they've gotten so far in the second half, you're in business.
Yeah, it's going to be a long half for Farmington if they can't stop that run. You know, the other thing, Tim, this has been a very clean ball game from the standpoint of penalties. I think we've only had 1. Yeah.
Procedure call against the Knights
for an
encroachment. In the first quarter, early in the first quarter.
Encroachment in the first quarter.
I thought my numbers might have been wrong on penalties, that I missed something, but it is only 1 penalty in the ballgame for 5 yards. Hand off to Colton up the middle again, and he needed 6 for the first down. He got about 5. Inside the 30-yard line, they'll mark it just shy of the 29, it looks like.
And you know, that's dangerous, you know, as far as Farmington's concerned, because when your fullback continues to pound like that, and then you give it to your halfback, you know, he's going to bounce outside too, so they're going to have to make some adjustments there. They don't seem too concerned at this time. Of course, you know, Festus just keeps inching closer and closer to the end zone.
It'll be 3rd and a yard and a half to go from just inside the 30-yard line. Crump hands to White, bounces outside. He's got the first down as he keeps his balance. 25 and falls at the 24 before he's touched down there. Moves the change for the second time. Goes White. Under 10 to play in the third quarter, a 10-point lead for the Tigers.
And you know, the emphasis there is the linebackers are stepping in tight to stop the fullback dive. And then they don't have anybody outside to be able to keep the running back from getting to the corner, and I guarantee he is getting to the corner.
Tigers take their time getting up to the line. There's no sense in hurrying to the line of scrimmage if you're Festus. I formation behind Crump. Double tight as they'll hand it off to White, running to the right side. He stumbles in the backfield. He gets it upfield, spins around a tackler, and he has a short pickup out to the 20-yard line, it looks like. Pick up about 4 yards.
You know, White, he really runs hard, but he's got a lot of moves, and he's a spinning and he's a cutting, and that's something that we hadn't seen from the other side of the ball. A lot of times Farmington's trying to move and cut, but they're slipping and falling, but he does an excellent job of keeping his feet on it. It looks like somebody had an equipment problem.
Equipment problem on Silkwood. He'll have to go off to the sideline, and a replacement comes in. Also, Miles Beckett checking out, and Palmero checking in at wide receiver for the Festus Tigers. 8:50 to play. The clock running down, and this is exactly what the Tigers wanted on the first drive of the second half.
Oh yeah, they're going to milk the clock and take as much and shorten the game as much as they can.
Crump under center, keeps it on the option, and he's going to be rocked at the line of scrimmage. He does fall forward for a gain of 1, but somebody for the Knights didn't see who it was, just stood him up.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there was a pretty good collision there with Crump, but you know, that's part of that bend and don't break, and now it's 3rd down. Of course, they're in 4 down territories, but they got 2 downs and make their 5 yards.
3rd and 5, or a long 4, depending on how you look at it, from the 19-yard line. I formation for the Tigers. 1-man split to the right. They'll hand it to Tyler White through the left side. He's got the first down. Breaks free from the middle. Tigers make it a 3-score game again. It's 27-11. Pending an extra point here in the third quarter. 7:56 to play. And what'd you see down on the field, Ryan Reinheimer?
Yeah, he's bouncing off tackle there, Tim, and he didn't have anybody touching him. And until they get some support in there off tackle, either from the linebacker or getting the end to turn that in, that's going to be difficult.
Tommy Wright for the extra point. He boots it high, he boots it far enough, and it's good. 28-11 after the 19-yard touchdown run by Tyler White. which is his 21st touchdown of the season. We're back in 1 minute on Regional Radio. Downey will kick it deep for the Tigers once again. He kicks it high, and it's a bit short, taken at the 20-yard line by Bloom. He gets up the sideline to the 30, to the 35, and 40-yard line up to the 42. And he's knocked out of bounds. Good return once again by Adam Bloom, who has the Farmington Knights lone touchdown tonight.
And you know, if Farmington's going to get back in this ball game, they're going to have some other players step up. And I know that Noble's made a couple catches. They haven't got the ball to Parks Peterson much, and they're going to have to get some other people involved in that offense.
Baker from shotgun has 5 wide receivers, 3 tight in the formation to the left. On the tight side of the field, ball on the left hash mark, 1st and 10. Baker rush from the pocket, he escapes. He tucks it and runs to the sideline, pickup of 3 or 4 before he's run out of bounds at the 46-yard line. He got 4 out of that and made something out of nothing.
Yeah, he did. And of course, he come off the left side here and was fortunate enough to be able to pick up about 5 yards. But, you know, that's a good thing for Festus's defense because they had everybody covered. And he wasn't able to pick up anybody to throw the ball to because he did have enough time to throw, but nobody was open.
3 wide to the right, 2 to the left for Aaron Baker. He's going to run it through the middle. Baker finds a seam. He gets to the outside. He's got 1 man to beat to the sideline. He's there with a 1st down. He's into Festus territory to the 40 and now to the 33-yard line. Knocked out of bounds and a good run for Aaron Baker.
Yeah, a good run for him and a good blocking up front, and he just ran the inside zone straight up the field, and some good downfield blocking.
They opened up that hole in the middle for the first time. I think that's the biggest hole Baker has seen. It wasn't that big, but it was enough.
Little confusion there now by the Knights.
We got a man coming from the right to the left side of the field. 5 wide again, empty backfield except for Baker. He takes the snap. He's pressured in the pocket. He fires complete across the middle, close to a 1st down.
Pass is complete to number 2, Adam Bloom.
Adam Bloom coming across the middle to make that reception at the 23-yard line or so. I think they've got the 1st down. Yes, they do. By a couple of yards. We'd like to thank National Academy of Beauty Arts in Farmington and Festus and Cozine Funeral Home in Farmington for helping us to bring you high school football. 1st and 10 Knights from the 23-yard line of the Tigers. From shotgun, Baker running inside zone play through the middle, cuts it through. He got a couple of steps upfield and then he was brought down. Gain of 3 as a couple of Tigers closed on him quickly.
And you know, Farmington's having a little success in this drive, and whether they get in the end zone or not, there are coaches on Farmington's side putting their heads together how to stop that run from Festus.
19-yard line for the Knights. It's 2nd and 6. Baker takes a low snap. He fires to the left side. It's caught at about the 12-yard line.
Taylor Denman, I believe.
Denman on the reception.
Pass is complete to number 4, Taylor Denman.
Farmington's starting to get into that groove where they like to run a play every 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, and they're speeding it up a little bit, and that's what they're hurry up, and they're really going to try to turn the heat up here on Festus.
Down by 17, and they want to score. They don't just want to score quickly. They want to try to tire out the Festus defense.
Right, and of course the problem is the first half, the Festus offense tired out the Farmington defense.
Correct. 1st down as they move the chains on that. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. From shotgun, Baker, 5 wide. He lost one to the end zone for Peterson. It is incomplete. Even if he would have caught that, it would have been out of bounds by plenty.
Yeah, Tim, he was fighting, trying to get down and stay down on the ground in bounds, and had slid across the end line, of course, before the ball made contact with him.
Ryan Reinheimer located in the left corner of the end zone, and Baker almost hit Ryan with that pass as Baker takes a low snap. He looks, he fires to the right side and overshoots his intended receiver on the far side. Looks like Doug Noble, who was his intended receiver, and he was open, but Baker just got a little too hot on that throw.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there was a lot of pressure there on Baker too, and in the pros that would be called a knockdown, and he got hit pretty hard. Now we got a football thrown out on the field. Don't think they're going to let us play with 2 of them.
Farmington figures we didn't score much in the first half with 1 football. Let's say we try 2. 3rd and 10 from the Festus 12. 4-down territory for the Knights. Baker from shotgun. He's pressured. He sets up the screen. It's complete, but immediately hit by Jake Amsden, and the receiver didn't pick up much, and that was
Pass is complete to number 29, Jordan Hampton. Tackled by David Cassell.
And the problem with it is it was well defended. They had a linebacker all over him, and then he had to throw the ball down low to the ground for him to be able to catch it. And of course, then you don't have an opportunity for any advancement.
Knight's going for the field goal. This will be about a 29-yarder for Bloom. As he approaches it, he kicks it into the ground. It might have been partially blocked. Festus man recovers at the 6, and he's thrown down to the turf. Ryan, could you see if he just didn't kick that well or if it was partially blocked?
Ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets out if you bought a...
We've seen Adam Bloom kick a lot of footballs this year, Howard Hain, and I don't ever remember seeing one come off of his foot that way. He usually pops it in the air pretty easily.
I still think that left plant foot, that he planted there, yeah. I think when he planted, I don't think he had his balance.
Crump backed up to his own 6-yard line. We'll hand it off up the middle to White, and White's going to fight for yardage. Picked up a few. Got it to the 10-yard line, so he gets 4 out of that, and it's 2nd and 6.
And you're going to see a point in time here shortly where Farmington's going to have to make a stand. I mean, there's a period and a half left to play, but if Festus continues to march down the field and tack points on, there's only so much you can make up in a certain amount of time. 2nd
and 6, handoff to White, looking through the middle for space, and he finds a little daylight, and he's hit after a short gain by Zach Euler on the play. Short of a first down, but he's about a yard away.
Yeah, I mean, you say that they're maybe played a little better and only gave him a few yards, but 2 plays and you have 1 yard to go. Defensively, they're going to have to step up and make a stand. But I tell you what, Festus' offense is really pounding the ball, really getting after the defense.
They didn't average 40 points a game by mistake as they're up to the line, 3rd and about a half a yard to go. Crump calling the signals. He'll hand it to White. White leaps. Don't know if he got there, but a flag flies.
There's a flag on the play.
Can you speculate on what the call is? It seemed to come a little late for a procedure call, but maybe he just took him a second to get the hanky out of his pocket. We'll see. It'll be false start against the Tigers, and that's killer for Festus because they were on the few inches away line of getting the first down.
And that's one of the few mistakes that Festus has made all night long.
First penalty.
Yeah, the first penalty, of course, the fumble late in the first half, but they have played an excellent ball game.
The officials doing a great job of not making themselves the game tonight. One penalty each team for 5 yards. 3rd and 5.
They've allowed them to play.
As White has daylight, he's got the first down across the 20 to the 25 and thrown down to the 26. He had a big hole there, and the Tigers' offensive line just opened it up for him.
Yeah, had him backed up. We're 3rd and 6 and deep in their own territory, and end up all coming off tackle. And there was a hole there that you could have run a truck through, I think.
4:30 to play in the 3rd quarter, and you're right. If the Knights can't put the clamps on them this drive, I think that's huge.
Yeah, it's coming very shortly. They're going to have to shut things down, or they're in deep trouble.
High formation. They hand up the middle to Colton, and the fullback rumbles forward and picks up a big chunk of yardage, about 8 of them, it looks like. And actually, they might mark this enough for a first down. No, it will be about a yard and a half short.
And a half.
Okay, never mind. They're making up their mind on the sideline.
It's about 6 inches short.
Yeah, just a few inches shy of a first down.
And they have been in very good field position. They started out in poor field position there, but they make their own field position.
They're close to really putting a hurting on the Knights here. If they can march this thing all the way down, and they hand it off to Colton again, and Colton's got the first down. He's got to the 45-yard line. Shy, actually. About the 43, he's taken down.
At some point in time, Farmington acts like they haven't made an adjustment, but I mean, the running back's coming through the line of scrimmage untouched, you know, and I know that Farmington's sitting there with 8, 9, 10 people in the box because they're running double tight, but they're just getting outmanned.
In the eye again for the Tigers. Crump calling the signals. He'll hand it to White, running to his left. Tries to get to the edge. He's hauled down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Jordan Hampton made a good play there as an outside linebacker, getting outside. But I'll say this, he was beat, and White had the outside on him, but he just pulled him down by his shirt.
Second and 8 coming up. We would like to thank Turner Chevrolet in Park Hills, Mineral Area College, as well as Flat River Building Center in Park Hills for helping us to bring you coverage of high school football on regional radio. We're under 3 to go in the third quarter, 28-11. Festus leading the Farmington Knights with the football. Second and 8 for the Tigers. And Crump pitches it, or excuse me, it was a fake, and inside run goes about 2 yards for Colton. Boy, I was fooled on that.
Jeremy Colton with a carry, tackled by number 31, Kendall Bay. I have another 2 tickets, number 768-614, 768-614, and ticket 32016, 32016. You think you have one of those from the behind the booth?
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Craig Andrews, who's putting in those updates. And a handoff up the middle, first down to the 45-yard line.
And you know, the big story here is not just as Festus marching down the field on Farmington, they're consuming the clock.
A lot of it as White rumbles for the first down there, moving the chains again. This started on the Festus 6-yard line, and they're down to the Farmington 44 here, killing a lot of the third quarter clock. Farmington's only had 1 drive this quarter so far, and we're under 2 to go. This could be a game killer right here if Festus goes all the way down and scores. Pitch to White, left side following blockers to the sideline, and he's going to have a pickup of 4. Brought down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, their run stats are going to be tremendous. I mean, you know, they're 4 yards a carry with the fullback and 8 and 10 yards with the halfback. And, you know, Farmington doesn't have an answer for that.
Farmington's not been in this dire a situation all season. They were down to Waynesville, but it wasn't by 17 points. And they came back to beat Waynesville in week 3 and a score of 18-14. I believe that game was 14-3 at one point. Second and 6 for the Tigers. 1:09 to go in the third. Handoff up the middle. Colton fighting, keeping the legs churning. He's across the 35. First down for the Tigers. Well, maybe a half yard short when they spot this thing.
Jeremy Colton with the carry. Tackle by number 40, Jared Smallman.
And very effective, Brian. Very effective.
On the season, he only has 29 carries, and he's approaching probably about 20 in this ball game. 3rd and a half a yard to go. They hand it to White. He's got the first down. Smash mouth. He picks up 2, maybe 3 as he lowered the shoulder and hit his defender. Brought him down, but it was more White bringing the defender down than the other way around.
He ran right over Jordan Hampton, and I mean, he caught him, and as opposed to tackling him, he just got run over by him.
Tigers move the chains, 1st and 10, and this is an extremely impressive drive for the black and gold of Festus. 22 seconds. This may be the last play of the third quarter. I formation. Crump under center, and Farmington jumps. They throw the flags. I think that's going against the Knights for encroachment. Second penalty for 10 yards against Farmington. And Todd Vaughn, who's 19-2 in his coaching career at Farmington in his second year, has to be on the sideline just scratching his head.
Yeah, it's difficult for him right now because, you know, they made adjustments at halftime to try to stop the run, and Festus came out and it didn't work. And I don't think it's necessarily because it's any big scheme of things that you have to do. It's man on man. They're just getting whooped up front. Is whooped a word, Tim?
It is now.
It is. It's happening. It's happening now.
Third quarter expires. I'd like to thank Clay Electric in Bonne Terre, Twin City Rental in Festus, as they are helping us bring you high school football. This is A 1st and 5, and a loose football as it bounced outside. Farmington says they have it, and they do. Huge turn of events for the Knights as they punch the football loose on that 1st and 5 play. Ryan. This would be the drive they'd have to get points out of this drive. 5 wide for the Knights. Baker in shotgun formation, 11:53 to play in the game. Baker takes the snap. He has time in the pocket. He's got nowhere to go with it. He's rushed and he's sacked. Jake Andrews brings him down, his 3rd sack of the game, and wow.
And you know what's impressive about that from Festus' standpoint is there's 7 defenders in coverage. And they were covered tonight. However, there's only 4 guys rushing. He had lots of time. He looked like he was a little confused with what he was trying to do.
2nd and about 19 to go. Baker with time fires for Noble, caught at the 20-yard line. He got forward progress to the 22.
Tackle by number 9, Nick Palmero.
Third and 13 to go for the Knights, deep in Festus territory, in their own territory, excuse me. As Baker takes a snap, he's rushed, he fires it, it's a wobbly pass and it's incomplete. I think the pass rusher there got his hand on it, didn't get the number, but Yengel maybe it was, came around the edge and maybe either got part of his arm where he had to short arm it or tip the pass.
Yeah. And you know there's going to be a timeout called here by Farmington. They're in a desperation situation where, you know, down by 17, 4th down in their own territory, they're going to have to make a decision here.
It's not a normal decision to make, but when you're, I guess desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's what the Knights are up against here with 10:56 to go in the game, down 28-11. We're back in 30 seconds on regional radio. Baker. On shotgun, he will set up a screen to Noble. It's caught. Noble slips on 4th down, and he is down, and he is mad at himself. And Farmington turns it over on downs.
The Tigers will take over on down.
Farmington turning it over on downs on the pass from Baker to Noble. A screen pass they set up, and Noble slipped on his own and was down on contact with the ground. 1st and 10 Festus. They can ice the game perhaps right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even if they don't score, Tim and Ryan, even if they don't score, just consuming the clock's going to win the ball game for them.
Hand off to White through the middle. White shedding tacklers, and he's going to have enough for the 1st down, I think, and a flag flies at the end of the play.
That's probably a tackling handle. I'm assuming that's a face mask.
Down to the 14-yard line, and we'll check the penalty marker. Face mask, Farmington. That will add on yardage and definitely make it a 1st down for the Tigers as they inch closer to the goal line and putting the nail in the coffin. Well, true. With Festus running the football, seemingly it will. If they can get in the end zone here, make it a 4-score game perhaps, I'd have to do the math real quick.
It'd be 24 if they get go for 1.
Up the middle, Colton gets the handoff. Short game,
Colton with the carry.
about the 6-yard line is where he's brought down.
Number 3, Parks Peterson.
I'd like to pause and thank Buckley Towing as well as Farmington Sports and Rehab in Farmington and Presbyterian Manor in Farmington for helping us to bring you high school football. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 6 for the Tigers.
And you know they're not in a hurry to snap the football.
Exactly.
I mean, they're running every minute they can off of that 25-second clock.
Turnovers even 2 apiece. Penalties, Farmington 3 for 20 yards. Festus 1 for 5 yards. I formation behind Crump. Crump hands to Colton up the middle, digging for yards, lunges for the goal line. Touchdown, Festus, and a flag flies late. The touchdown should count, and I don't know what the penalty is going to be. But if it happens if it's a dead ball foul, that would mean the touchdown counts. Am I right?
I think that's what they're discussing right now, when it happened.
If it happened after the touchdown, it's assessed on the kickoff, I would imagine, or the extra point. 9:57 to go. The points aren't on the board yet.
Aiding the runner, I believe.
Aiding the runner against Festus. That's where you...
The flag is helping the runner into the end zone.
You remember the old USC Notre Dame game a few years ago when Reggie Bush pushed Matt Lineman in the end zone and it wasn't called? Yeah. That's what they're calling right here. So that will nullify a touchdown and give Farmington another breath at least.
But the interesting part of that is what down we're going to be.
You're absolutely right. It's going to stay second down, I guess. They haven't changed it on the far side.
So
you rerun the down on that? Or
yeah, so you can try to push him into the end zone and you don't get any penalty except backing up 5.
Run! Hand up to White, skip to the middle, back outside, touchdown! It's a moot point now. 34-11 with an extra point pending.
I tell you what, he went in untouched except he ran into his own player.
From 6 yards out, White with his 4th touchdown of the evening. He's had all of the offensive touchdowns for the Tigers. Beckett with a defensive touchdown, right on for the extra point. He boots it. It looks like it's wide. What are they going to signal? Extra point.
It could have barely cleared the crossbar, I think.
35-11, and the task is very tall for that. It's 24 points down, 9:46 to play in this ball game. Kickoff, a squib kick for the Tigers, picked up by the Knights at the 35-yard line. That's right about where they get dropped. So we'd like to thank Cartridge World in Farmington, as well as McFarland Travel in Festus, and the Scott Radiological Group in Festus. For all of high school football and regional radio. 35-10, Festus Tigers, 9.5 to play.
Yeah, now it's a 24-point lead, and that's very difficult. You're just going to have to throw to the end zone each time you get your hands on the ball.
35-11 to score as the Knights try to score in a hurry. Baker from shotgun with 4 wide. He fires to the right side. It's caught by Adam Bloom. Bloom goes to the sideline, stiff arms a man, and he's brought down by Yengel right at the 45-yard line.
And he had an opportunity to go out of bounds and decided to run back inside. Of course, the clock does stop because he's right at the first down marker.
Close enough to measure, so they're going to, I think, bring the chains out here.
And we've had to measure several times, but it's been because there is no hash marks, and there was no other indicators other than the 5-yard line.
Every 5 yards, yeah. Tyler White, 4 touchdowns in the game. Adam Bloom has a touchdown and a field goal kick for Farmington. He's accounted for all of their points, including the 2-point conversion. And Miles Beckett with the only other points in the game, a 25-yard interception return for a touchdown on the first drive of the game. As we measure this to see if Bloom got enough for the first.
What do you see down there, Ryan?
The Knights will have a second and short. We'd like to thank Al Schweiss, your State Farm Insurance agent in Farmington, Leagues Equipment in St. Genevieve, and the YMCA of Jefferson County, proud sponsors of high school football on regional radio. City trying for yet another district title. Festus going for its first in, I believe, 7 years. Has it been since 2000, Ryan? From shotgun, second and short for the Knights. Baker with shotgun formation. He'll roll to his right. He's hurried. He passes to the sideline. It's caught for the first down. And Hampton on the reception, getting out of bounds to stop the clock as the chains will move.
Yeah, you know, it's very important for them to conserve as much time as they can. And of course, they're really seriously going to have to consider, if they do get in the end zone, they're going to have to consider some onside kicks or whatever to retain possession of the ball, because Festus has shown that they can score whenever they get it.
Knights with 4 wide, 1 man flanked to the right of Baker for protection purposes, and it's a pass complete to Bullard. He got about 9 yards out to the 45 of Festus. A yard short of the first down, the clock will run as he did not get out of bounds. Ethan Bullard with his 3rd reception, I believe, of the night. 35-11 Festus. Shotgun formation again for the Knights. 2nd and 1, high snap. They'll fake the handoff. Baker's going to run it through the middle, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but I think he's short of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like he's about a half a yard short, Tim, and of course the clocks are running, and it's a big 3rd down conversion for them. They have to have this first down.
Well, they're going 2 downs here no matter what. 3rd and a yard from the 45 of Festus from shotgun. Baker pumps, he throws, it's caught by Bloom for a first down at the 40, and he sneaks through to the 37-yard line. The clock will stop momentarily to move the chains and respot the ball.
What's been so impressive is the Festus secondary. I mean, they have almost virtually shut down anything on a passing game beyond 5 yards.
Baker pump fakes. He fires deep down the sideline. It's caught on the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? That's Peterson on the far side. And I think the referees are conferring, and they say, yes, it's a catch. Deep completion. It'll set him up.
Well, it looked like he was. It looked like he was in bounds and was backpedaling, but the question was, did he have control of it when he backpedaled out of bounds?
The referees conferred and said yes, and the ball's on the 10-yard line. This is 1st and goal, I believe. I don't think you can get a first down, although it looks like they might have that thing on the half-yard line. From shotgun, Baker looking to run through the middle. Baker gets the 5 and stopped right there, maybe just short of the 5-yard line. And the clock under 8 to play. Farmington has to get 7 here to keep their chances alive.
Yeah, you know, and the task is monumental, you know, as far as trying to score 4 times and keep Festus from scoring, but they're giving it a shot.
Baker rolls right, throws complete, but he's hammered. After the reception, Adam Bloom has taken a couple shots tonight, but he pops right back up. That one goes for a gain of 2 to the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. Is it 3rd and goal, or can they get a first down? Can you tell her?
Hold them!
So they could get a first down, but really,
that'd be cutting hairs there, fellas.
For all intents and purposes, 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. From shotgun, Baker. He looks to the left side. He fires incomplete, nearly picked up by Nick Palmero. And if he would have taken that one, it would have been 95 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intended for Ethan Bullard, and you would have thought that Colton was the one running the pattern when you saw him react to the ball.
So 4th and 4 to go from the 4-yard line. Basically, 4th and goal. Baker from shotgun. He's pressured. He throws. Caught. Touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Mark Peterson reels it in, and he keeps the Farmington hopes alive. It's 35-17.
And Tim, it's an automatic 2 now. Anytime they would score, you automatically got to go for 2 because you have so many points to make up.
Try to take Peterson out as as they run the two-point conversion play. Baker with plenty of time to throw. He throws it to the back of the end zone. It's knocked down, incomplete. Receiver wanted a flag. I think it was Taylor Denman.
No good.
He's not going to get one. It was actually Doug Noble, the intended receiver. And with 7:02 to go, Farmington makes it a 35-17 score, and we'll probably have an onside kick coming when we come back in 1 minute on regional radio. The onside kick for Farmington. It's going to be close. It goes 10 yards, but I think it was gobbled up by a Festus Tiger on the front line there.
Onside kick recovered by the Tigers, number 9, Nick Palmero.
That onside kick was a lot better for Farmington's side than the one at the start of the second half, as they actually had a shot there if they could have maybe put a body on Palmero to recover a loose football, but Festus does take over possession at the 49-yard line, trying to nudge it into Farmington territory and burn some clock with 7 minutes to go. The Tigers leading the Knights 35-17. Crump to White, big hole right side. He gets to the second level, and he's going to be right down about 8 yards.
And you know, he ran over Parks Peterson. I mean, Parks came up as a safety to tackle him. He's tough to bring down, a real physical runner.
Farmington really would need a turnover here on this drive to change the tide and maybe have a shot at getting some points on the other end and making it a closer contest.
Yeah, Tim, you're still down by 18. And you know, no matter how you cut that, that's 3 scores.
2nd and 3 for the Tigers. An eye behind Crump as they hand it to White through the middle, navigates his way through for the first down. As he gets down inside the 40-yard line.
You know, he's just physically ran through the Farmington defense all night long. And
yeah, it's got to be somewhere in that neighborhood.
And you know, that hasn't been extremely unusual during the year because of the number of plays Farmington runs so quickly, but tonight they've not only dominated the clock, but they've dominated the scoreboard too.
1st and 10 Tigers. The sophomore Sean Crump gets under center. He hands it to White. He's running right. He spins off a tackle in the backfield. He gets it upfield and brought down after a gain of 3, maybe 4 on the play.
And you know, what's amazing about that is contact was made with 2 or 3 defenders at the line of scrimmage, and just keeps his feet moving and keeps heading upfield and picks up 4 yards.
I brought this name up before when I heard about Tyler White's running style, and Farmington fans listening are going to cringe when I say Rick Cuevro of North County, who ran similarly against the Knights in that game about 4 years ago. And just, you know, he would bounce off of tacklers, pinball off of them, stay on his feet, run hard both sides of the field, and just a north and south guy who knows where the end zone is. And a flag flies before the snap of the football on a 2nd and 7 play from the Farmington 34. Against the Tigers, their 3rd penalty.
And you know, it's one thing to run it down to, you know, try to use all you can, but of course
can't do any more than 25 seconds.
Well, and then when you get the penalty, then they're going to stop the clock and not start it until you snap the ball. So really, I don't think they meant to run over the time limit there.
2nd and 11 now for the Tigers. Hand off to Colton through the middle. Colton stays on his feet, and he's going to have a chunk of yardage, and it looked like maybe a face mask call, but no flag.
No, that was just a wrestling move. That was just a bear hug and throw to the ground, and of course, very uncharacteristic by Adam Bloom to be so physical. I mean, it was a very physical tackle, and of course, you could hear the objection by the Festus fans.
Four and a half to go, and this clock just keeps trickling down. 3rd and 7. Crump under center winds the play clock down, hands it to White, following blockers to the right side. He's caught in the backfield, but he escapes. He gets upfield near the 1st down marker at about the 27 7.
Kelly White over here is handled by number 31.
Yeah, you know, he had a
Peter May.
defender on him out there in the flat, and he grabbed him around the waist and just slid down to his shoes, and he just kept his feet moving, and upfield he goes.
A yard short of the first down, but at this point, the Tigers don't much care what down it is as long as they still have the football.
And you're exactly right in making the comparison with the North County runner Cuervo. I mean, he is just very similar, runs just a little tilt forward, but very powerful running back.
Festus fans look where the ball is, then look at the clock. Then it's like a tennis match here on the Festus side. As they head it to White, he's stacked up with the line of scrimmage, but all he needed was a yard. He fell forward, and he's going to be close.
Jim, I believe it might be short of that.
They wave
It is going to be
clock
close.
to stop, so they can spot the ball and measure it, I believe.
A different official stepped in there now and spotted it, so it's really close, I believe.
I'd like to thank Klein's Pharmacy in St. Genevieve and Park Hills CarQuest for helping us to bring you high school football on regional radio, and they say we do need a measurement. Well, Ryan, if this result holds, where does this win for Festus measure up in history?
Farmington takes over on down.
Whether it be Farmington or North County, right. So Farmington has a 1st and 10, but they're on their own 28-yard line. 72 yards to make it a 2-score game. 3:30 remaining in the ball game. Farmington can score quickly. We'll see if they try to stretch the field a bit here. As Baker pump fakes, he has time. Now he fires it deep down the field. Receiver behind the defense. It's incomplete. A little underthrown. If he could have lengthened that throw another couple of feet, he might have had Peterson behind the defense.
Yeah, he had three defenders on him immediately and another coming in to help out. That's tough. I mean, you know, especially when the ball's underthrown.
He nearly got it into the hands of Peterson, streaking down the far sideline. 2nd and 10, though, from the Knights' 28. Baker with 5 wide. Takes a snap. He looks to his right. He pump fakes. Now he fires deep down the right side for Noble. It's a rainbow that's going to be knocked down by Tyler White, I believe.
And you know what's very difficult about that is both receivers ran to the same area. And each one brought a defender with them, plus both safeties. So when the ball came to that point, there were 4 defenders there. Very difficult.
Well, Festus knows exactly what the Knights are trying to do, and they're not going to let them have it easy. 3:16 to go. Not much time ticking off the clock against the Knights. However, it's 3rd down deep in their own end. 28-yard line, low snap for Baker. He rolls right. He fires it incomplete, nearly intercepted by Beckett. It would have been his 3rd.
He's very athletic, and he saw that and read Baker's eyes the whole way, and of course stepped in front of the Bloom, the intended receiver.
It's do or die now for the Farmington Knights. 4th and 10. You're down by 18 points. 3:11 to go on your own 28-yard line. They don't make this 1st down, you could pretty much sign, seal, deliver it to the Festus Tigers. Low snap, Baker. Pocket collapsing, and the pass is tipped and incomplete. And the Tigers hold on 4 downs, take over on the Farmington 28-yard line. 3:07 to go, and as long as they can hold on to the football, this will be all she wrote.
You know, and even if they don't and they turn it back over, Festus' defense has shown that they can stop the Knights' offense.
It took to week 9 for Farmington to find a team that could put the clamps on their high-octane offense. But Festus has done that tonight with flying colors. It's been an exceptional effort defensively for the black and gold of Jefferson County. And the Festus Tigers wearing those colors proudly. Of course, the same colors for the Farmington Knights. So So we had a distinguished there. The run up the middle gains a couple, and we're under 3 to go. So Festus will be in the driver's seat as they go, or they host DeSoto next week, and Farmington will have to pray for a DeSoto win, and they'll have to beat North County next week. And then you get into a point situation and tiebreakers and all that.
Well, but you know, if and of course things don't always go the way you say they should. Of course tonight people will be thinking 3 had beat 9, but then Festus needs to beat DeSoto and Farmington needs to beat North County, and then it'll wash out by wins with you know, Festus having 3 wins in the district.
Sure. Exactly.
Well, but then what happens is you go to head after you go number of wins, and of course you're going to have that situation where they're going to be same number of wins, but Festus is going to have beaten North County, so they'll win that tiebreaker.
Crump takes a timeout on a 3rd and 4 as he was going up to the line. It's Festus's first timeout.
Turn away to the carry. Turn out Farmington.
Coming out of the timeout, a play was run. It was a 1.5 yard gain by, I believe, Colton of the Tigers, and he was brought down 2 yards short of the first down. Timeout Farmington now with 1:34 to go. 35-17 Festus as this one winds to a close. And we do want to remind you that we'll have End Zone after the football game tonight with David Cassell. Get you caught up on all the district action around the state of Missouri. And tomorrow, the Missouri Tigers hosting the Iowa State Cyclones. Coverage at noon on AM 1400 KJFF and AM 800 KREI. Well, some people around the state may look at this score and be a little bit shocked, not just that Festus won, but the fact that it looks like it'll end up a 3-score advantage.
Yeah, and of course there's no doubt that Festus was climbing in those rankings all year long, and people just didn't know exactly how good they were. They said they were, you know, pretty tough defensively and improving offense. Well, they're real tough defensively, and they've got a pretty good offense.
Crump under center, 4th and 2. They're going to try to get the first down to ice the game, and now a timeout called. And maybe the play clock ran out again. Nope, Festus called the timeout. We got another timeout. Timeouts, we run 1 play.
You know, Festus has no passing game, you know, but the Knights' inability to stop the run is where it's at. Stop the run, you might win 17 points. They're a lot stronger than we are. Close.
The 4th down play was a running play for Festus, and it's going to be close enough to measure, I believe.
Again.
They're going to bring the chains out. Well, you know, the last time we had this many measurements was that Waynesville game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And it seemed like every time somebody got tackled, it was on the first down marker.
Right. Ryan's got the call on the first down. We'll see here.
I think the crowd will tell you.
Tigers will just kneel if this is a first down for them. They're short. Farmington football, 1:27 to go. 35-17, the Tigers lead it. about 4 or 5 inches short, and the Knights will take over one last time, it would appear, in this ballgame unless they score real quickly and get an onside kick.
Awful big task you're asking. You know, minute 27, needing 18 points.
And Festus knowing that, covering your perimeter guys that are lining up and running go patterns down the sideline. Baker drops the pass. He looks to set up a screen. It's intercepted by Kopp at the 10-yard into the end zone. That's the icing on the cake for the Tigers. They're going to win this thing. Patrick Kopp read the screen and he jumped up. His 6'4" frame is a tight end on offense, and he brought it down in front of the intended receiver and just had nothing but green grass in the end zone in front of him. It's 41-17 Festus.
Festus just delivered an exclamation point.
That's what we call a knockout punch. And, you know, it's a bookended game now because the first score came on a great play by Miles Beckett on defense. And now it ends up with an interception return on defense. And it really kind of credits the Festus defense overall for the game they played tonight. The extra point good, it's 42-17.
Yeah, they just stymied the offense for Farmington, and we hadn't seen that all year long. We've seen it, you know, for a series or two, but for any length of period of time at all, Festus has done an excellent job with the defensive game plan.
We haven't seen Aaron Baker. Well, I don't know if any of his interceptions have gone for touchdown. Actually, one did, I think, against Waynesville. But since that Week 3 interception return for a touchdown, he didn't have any that were brought back on an interception, and 2 in this game, Beckett and now Patrick Kopp. And that is all she wrote, except for the final minute 21 of game clock that'll dwindle down here after the kickoff. And Ryan, real fever pitch is Festus will host the game next week, senior night, and as long as they win, they're in.
I would say that you could say the district championship is going through Festus.
Soto's good, but they're not that good.
Well, I mean, you know, they're going to have to pull off a tremendous upset
against a team that's playing with a lot of emotion as Busenbach takes the squib kick and brings it up to the 42-yard line, and Farmington going to try to air it out and maybe get in the end zone one more time. I thought it'd be a good game, and you know, score-wise, I was wrong.
Right, yeah. But you know, I say that the district goes through here because I don't know that there's any way that Festus can do anything but win this, even if they lose to the South.
Yeah, with the tiebreakers and everything, you got head-to-head.
I don't think there's any possibility.
You're correct. Baker looks to throw. He guns one across the middle. It's caught by Bloom. Has been sensational tonight for Farmington, and he's going to move the chains. A gain of 13 out to the 48-yard line of Festus.
Second by number 38, Jeff Kopp.
With head-to-head, so this is for all the marbles, excuse me, as the pass is incomplete from Baker to Noble on the right side. A minute 2 to go, and the final excruciating minute of play for the Farmington Knights here, and Festus getting ready to celebrate.
Yeah, and there'll be a celebration here. I tell you what, they played an excellent ball game, and on both sides of the ball, special teams included.
Well, he's waited so long for a head coaching job, and in his personal life, yeah. Nice roll out to the right and pass completion to Bullard by Aaron Baker. And that will move the chains as he gets it to the 33-yard line. You're talking about emotion. And his staff, too, is mostly Hillsborough assistants that he brought with him. And these guys just prepare very well for every football game. They've waited a while as well as Baker gets a pass rush. He is hammered by Yankel for the sack and a loss of 8 yards. And the clock running with 40 seconds now to play.
And you know very possibly it could be the last play of the game here, Tim.
Knights will drop to 8-1. Heading into the North County matchup, playing for pride next week at Farmington High School against the Raiders. No matter what, this is Festus's district in 2007. Baker takes a low snap with 12 on the game clock. He's hurried by Anthony, and he's going to be sacked again. Another exclamation point on his fourth sack, and that will do it as the final second ticks off the clock and the celebration begins in Festus. The Tigers defeat the Farmington Knights 42-17, and the Tigers are district champions.